welcome back to another modern video. Today I've got a Necrodominance mono black burn list. This is trying to take advantage of Soul Spike plus Necrodominance to draw a bunch of cards and kind of make use of them for free. And to that we're also playing the Grief Scam in order to get a better use of all of our cards, and also playing the new flip cards from MH3 that can play untapped. These would help give more things to pitch, and then also they do still trigger Gonti's Machinations if you play them for 3 life. And then also in the sideboard we've got 4/4 Despair for Sickening Shoals. I think these actually kind of have different matchups depending on, if the opponent is trying to go wide or if they're trying to get one big threat. Yeah, I mean, with the number of cards we're trying to pitch, I think these are kind of a natural fit. So, yeah, let's get into a match and see how it goes. All right. Win the die roll. I mean, I think this is a little awkward with just one land, but I do think it's keepable since, if we draw a second land, we can get to Sign in Blood, which can get us to Necrodominance, and so we got lands that would be good draws. Grief would also be a good draw. So yeah, I think we can keep this. Opponent mulligans to 6. Alright, so we'll reveal a Chancellor of the Draws. And then use the 3 life to play an untapped land. Okay, got a commercial district. No card put into the graveyard. Okay, drew a Bowmaster. Let's see what else is coming from the opponent. This could be a Storm deck. It looks like it. Ooh, okay, drawing Chancellor and not land is pretty rough here, especially since my opponent is pretty well set up to just combo off this turn. Might have been a little bit risky to keep this hand, but I don't know. I think Necrodominance is such a powerful card, it's kind of worth taking the risk for. Luckily, we do have a good amount of sideboard cards for this matchup. Can bring in Discard, Graveyard Hate, probably bringing in the Sickening Shoals as well. Fortunately, the majority of their card draw is the Reckless Impulse stuff, so they're not actually drawing cards that we can punish with Bowmasters. But so I think those will probably be coming out, and then bringing in Ley Lines, bringing in Thoughtseize, bringing in at least a couple Sickening Shoals. I don't know if I would bring in all 4. Yeah, it's just a good way to catch them out on their creatures. Okay, so cast a Glimpse the Impossible. They have enough to ultimate Ral, so I'm just gonna concede this. Move on to the next game. So let's get Ley Lines. Let's see. So start with Bowmasters coming out. Do think Trim Bump in the Night as well. I think probably going to be going down a couple of scam spells since they're not very interactive like that, and it's just for grief at this point with no Bowmaster. And then let's see, maybe Trauma Machinations as well. Yeah, let's run it like this. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, I got a Leyline and a Sickening Shoal, but unfortunately no land, so gotta mulligan this. Okay, I mean this hand is better. It has a land. Can I can Grief and Sickening Shoal? Question is that enough? That's a really tough one. I don't know if my 5-card hands are gonna be much better than this, but at the same time, I guess I'm not putting any pressure on with this hand. So I guess I'm gonna go for a mulligan here. Okay, finally more than one land. And this is more reasonable. I'm gonna see bottom and probably bottom Soul Spike as well. I'd like to keep the grief if I can scam them, or even I wouldn't be surprised if it was correct to just to grief them. Okay, so they've got kind of an interesting one. Dragon's Race Channeler, Ral, Ruby Medallion. I think I'm probably just gonna go for taking the 2 cost reducers here. And let them keep the Channeler. Do that. I can wait. Oops. I can wait a turn before I grief just to see if I draw a scam card. Even if not, I'm just gonna be playing grief. Okay, so I'm gonna get a Sign in Blood. That's really nice. 2 more Chancellor that draws is not nice. That's actually pretty bad. So let's get this. But they drew another Ruby Medallion. Wow, that's actually really rough. I suppose in that case, I'm supposed to take the Manamorphose. Don't know if that's 100% correct. Yeah, drawing 2 Chancellors here is pretty rough. That's by far the worst draw in the deck. So, okay. Okay, so I have a Soul Spike. Maybe I can pick off a creature with that. But we'll see. Okay, mill of Past in Flames and still has a Past in Flames in hand. I'm gonna leave the Channeler for now. Okay, drew a Swamp. I mean, this does, if I can make it through this turn, then I do have a chance at drawing a Necrodominance and then Soul Spiking to victory. A 3rd Ruby Medallion. So I put 1 card on top. I think I just have to Soul Spike the Channeler at this point. This way they've got 1 card in hand. They can Past in Flames and cast just Manamorphose. And it's going to be a lot harder for them to find what they need if they're doing that versus if they have the channeler, they can surveil off Past in Flames, surveil off Manamorphose, surveil off everything. Okay, so it goes Past in Flames, Manamorphose. Okay, did not draw anything good apparently. Grief could be good. It's at least an attacker. Get to that point. Okay, Reckless Impulse, another Past in Flames too. Glimpse the Impossible. So far, no rituals. Okay, they got a Desperate Ritual and a Ral. And a Wish. I think with this Wish, I'm probably just dead here. I guess technically they would need to hit something off these impulses, but they've got 5 looks at the top cards. And every spell that they cast also deals damage to me too. So, okay, with that Pyretic Ritual, I think I'm just guaranteed dead. So, alright, well, that was a rough match. The deck is very, very resilient, very fast. So, hopefully we'll be playing against something else round 2. Alright, coming back for round 2 on the draw this time. Hopefully the draws can line up a little bit better than the last match. Opponent is playing 61 cards. Got an interesting gamer over there. Wonder if that's on purpose or if that's a miscut. Yeah, this hand doesn't do much, but it has all the mana and all the card draw, so I will accept that. Opponent is mulliganing to 5. I mean, if we draw a Grief, then this hand just becomes insane. Okay, Elegant Parlor. Looks like they might be playing the Boros Energy deck. Scalding Tarn, potentially Jeskai Control. Okay, gonna be... I think I'm just gonna play this tap to start. I know I'm gonna need to play 3 lands for Necrodominance. And so I'm gonna be... And this is the one turn that I'm not gonna be playing anything, so it's a good turn to save the 3 life. Got a Xander's Lounge. Okay. Not really expecting that. Wonder if it's maybe a domain of some type. Now here's the question: do I Sign in Blood and go up to 8 cards, or do I just Hopeless Nightmare? I think probably Sign in Blood. There's a decent chance I can draw something. Okay, well it looks like they're paying costs, so maybe this is a force. Oh, Mana Tithe. Okay. Wow, very spicy deck over there. 61 cards, Mana Tithe off in the Xander's Lounge deck. Well, I'm glad to get the Sign of Blood Mana Tithe there instead of Necrodominance. Opponent passes again. Draw a nut dead after all. Is this a Necrodominance situation? I think I'm just gonna play it a little safe here and cast Trawler. I mean, I don't know if they necessarily have a second Mana Tithe, but they definitely have something since they just passed with 3 mana up. Jetmir's Garden. Okay, so they've got to be playing Leyline Binding. at the very least. Sacred Foundry tapped. All right. Um, well, let's start off with an attack. See if that can provoke a removal spell or something. Does not. Okay, a Hopeless Nightmare. Opponent has 3 cards. They gotta have something, right? Let's see what they discard. Discard a Dwarven Mine. Okay, so this is a creativity deck. Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna go for a Necrodominance here. Do you have another counterspell? No. Looks like they do have a binding. Yep. Makes sense. Okay. Well, I guess in Trawler we trust. They could fetch up a Dwarven Mine here to block. And I think I'm just gonna not dead after all if they do. Okay, they decide that's not what they want to do. But I will cast another one. I mean, I think this kind of showcases why I think it's, even though these cards on the lands are not very exciting on their own, it's a very good upgrade to the deck since, you know, I would have, let's see, eight lands out of my cards if these were just even just utility lands, like, there'd be 8 of them versus now, I mean, I have 6 power worth of attackers on board. Basically no cost to my deck. Okay, Fable the Mirror Breaker. I think the same thing still applies. If they block, I'm probably gonna cast a Not Dead after all. Nurturing Peatland. It's actually kind of nice since I can hold up a Felder Profane for potential creativity. Can also hold up a Scry on the Hopeless Nightmare. Okay, opponent decides not to block. So I think if they just go to combat, then I'm casting Felder Profane on this goblin before it can attack. Discard Get Lost and Lightning Bolt. I'm just going to go ahead and cast this now. And they scoop it up. All right, Bogger Trawler got me all the way there. So that's pretty cool, I guess. All right, let's see. I think the deck is pretty well set up already for this matchup. I think I'm going to go with a couple of Sickening Shoals here. Get rid of the Bump in the Knights. I think I'll just run it like that. No, never want to go too hard on stopping the combo against Creativity because they have such a good backup plan that you could just lose to their mid-rangey beats. Okay, and then you are able to scam a Grief here turn 1. Fortunately, have to give up a land to do it, but that is the way it goes. Kind of want to pitch this Sickening Shoal. Just use the Hopeless Nightmares to further thin their hand after this. So Wrenn and 6 to Fairy, Leyline Binding. Okay, well, I will happily take the Wrenn and 6 for sure. And I'm kind of wondering, do I take the Teferi as well? I think so, because I mean, I think I'm happier with a trading Grief for Binding than I am, letting the Grief get taken by Teferi here. And I don't, they shouldn't. Okay, I guess unless they have, I mean, they would need like a Hallowed Fountain, I think, to cast Leyline Binding this turn. I don't think they play that, so I'm at least getting in one hit. See if I can draw a land. Gonti's Machinations. Not a land. But I do get a hit in here. And then I'm going to start casting my Hopeless Nightmares as well. Which makes things very annoying for my opponent. Discards a Dwarven Mine. They fetch out a Stomping Ground and shock it in. Maybe they... That's kind of interesting. Now if they want to cast this binding, they have to shock in Sacred Foundry as well. I wonder if that's that was a misclick or something. That there's no way that was correct. So here comes the Sacred Foundry shocked in. Okay, did find a second land here. Okay, got a binding coming down. Play a Hopeless Nightmare. I'm prioritizing casting these Hopeless Nightmares before the Gonti's Machinations, even though this will take a couple turns to get going, just because I'm kind of wanting them to be forced to discard when they're already low on cards in hand. Alright, kind of unfortunate for them to draw a Wrenn here, since it means they're going to be able to hit all of their land drops. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead, cast this. I'm going to play this and shock it in. And then I can play Bowmasters, and next turn the Machinations will be online, so they'll be at 5. Bowmasters will, if it can ping and get an attack, will be at, okay, it's not getting an attack. So they'll be at 5, be at 4. And yeah, we'll see where we can go from there. Scouting Tarn. Actually, so if they're at 7. I ping them down to 4. Oh, and then Sign of Blood. I was actually playing my first draft of this list was actually playing uh the I'm blanking on the name now, but the um Night's Whisper, the one that doesn't target and you just draw 2 cards. Um, but I switched over since all the lands play make black mana, and definitely paying off now. That burning them out from uh 4 life out of nowhere with just Sign of Blood Orcish Bowmaster is pretty sweet. All right, let's get into round 3. All right, back for round 3. Um, this is a keep. Got 2 lands, Sign of Blood. The Chancellor of the Draws Soul Spike combo kind of means they're starting at 10 life in this situation, so pretty happy about that. Okay, starts off with a Scalding Tarn. We'll start off with a Gonti's Machinations. Okay, Commercial District looks like it might be another Ruby Storm deck. Yep. Mills Arouse, so it looks like they have another cost reducer already in hand. Ruby Medallion. Bit unfortunate here. Okay, Orcish Bowmasters is a pretty nice draw. There's a chance I could get him with off of a Manamorphose or something. Um, so yeah, we'll be looking for that. And I do also have Soul Spike up to kill Ral or something. Okay, so there's a Manamorphose. At least get to ping him twice. Dragon's Rage Channeler. And a Reckless Impulse. Surveils Ren Resolve to the graveyard. Flips another Reckless Impulse. And they haven't played a land. So that counts as well. Another Reckless Impulse. They need to find some sort of ritual here, and they do. Yeah, this Ruby Storm deck is really gonna take over for a bit until people start putting a huge number of sideboard cards for it. Okay, 2 Pyretic Rituals. I wonder if they have a Past in Flames in hand already. Looks like they've got something. Yeah, just graveyarding everything. If they've got Past in Flames, I'll scoop to that. There's really nothing I can do. Unfortunately, I'm just a couple points of damage short. If they had a grape shot or something, then it would trigger Gonti's Machinations so that I could And there's the Past in Flames. I could hit them for 3, hit them for 4, and it's not quite enough. So going on to game 2, bringing in a few sideboard cards here, just a few. So I think I am gonna bring out the Bowmasters, maybe cut, trim Signing Blood, trim Bump in the Night. I feel like the Grief Scam plan is probably going to be my best bet in terms of actually stopping them from going off. Um, and maybe I can. Let's see here. It's kind of tough to trim more. So I'm trying not to go too low on um, interaction and like actual win conditions. Actually, I think I might just need to go down Chancellors. They really just don't do too much here, and I think I'm just going to be a bit more of a liability than they are helpful. Okay, so got a Soul Spike, a couple scam cards. I do have a Necrodominance though. It's kind of a tough one. I guess there is the potential of just comboing them out here. But I'm also worried. I would also be worried about just losing. Like if I don't have anything up turn 3 to stop them. I think in the end I'm gonna keep. Hopefully this Soul Spike. If they don't have the Ruby Medallion again, then the Soul Spike can stop one of their creatures. And getting a turn 3 Necro down um, will hopefully be enough to win me the game. Okay, pass. Okay, and drawing a Grief to scam in is definitely what I needed. Okay, so it looks like I will be taking a Ruby Medallion. Scam that. And I think probably just taking the Ral here. I know that technically I could kill it with the Soul Spike, but I mean I'd have to pitch Necrodominance, and there's honestly a decent chance that they just draw another one. So, okay. Ren's Resolve finds a Channeler and a Past in Flames. So I will be casting a Necrodominance this turn. Get in for 4. I think in this spot I'm going to draw probably 5 cards. 3 for sure to get up there. Okay, cool. And I guess I can just cast a Soul Spike here while I've got the cards in hand. I think I'm just gonna keep the Trawlers. I can cast those next turn. Actually, I'll keep one Trawler. I think with the Leyline will do a better job of actually keeping in check, since most of their graveyard shenanigans will all happen at one turn. If I draw another Soul Spike, then I just win the game next turn. 4 from Grief, 4 from this Soul Spike, and then just need one more to finish things off. See if they go for Manamorphose here. Looks like it, yep. So I've got Past in Flames, one mystery card. Put a card on top. And a Ren's Resolve. Okay, so just trying to set up for next turn. Okay, they did hit a Ruby Medallion and a Desperate Ritual, so. Alright. Get in for 4. And then I'm going to go all the way here. I will be casting this for 19. Oh my gosh. No way I didn't find. I did not find a Soul Spike in 19 cards. Wow. That is extremely unfortunate. I can Sickening Shoal that. But that is a rough draw here. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna be discarding a bunch of stuff here. It's like I just have one more Sickening Shoal. So I'll leave myself with a Sickening Shoal to try to stay alive, and then I've got 2 Hopeless Nightmares to finish him off next turn. Wow, I can't believe that. And they've got Past in Flames. Yep. That's so sad. Oh my gosh. And yeah, and they could probably just wish for a Grape Shot already. That is one thing, I guess, that's different about this deck versus, if you could play Necrodominance in traditional burn, um, you know, I'd be able to use some of these instant speed, but Soul Spike is really the only one that works instant speed there, so. Let's see. I don't know what my opponent's pausing here. Maybe they're just deciding whether it's worth it to go for it or not. Yeah, they cast a wish. And a Grape Shot. Oh, brutal. Alright, GG's. Okay. Back for round 4. Very disappointing last game against Ruby Storm. And overall, not a great hand here. Multi 6. Okay, yeah, this hand definitely looks a lot better. Keep this, put a Soul Spike to the bottom. I can reveal the Chancellor. I'm going to wait a turn on the Grief. I can probably decide after their turn whether I want to scam that, maybe cast a Soul Spike, um, something like that. Okay, Delighted Halfling, so it looks like a Yawgmoth build. Okay, I got an Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm just going to go ahead and cast a Grief here. See if I can... Oh, okay, so it's a Nadu deck. Gotcha. Okay, well... Um... Don't know that I care about Teferi too much. I guess it does mess with my Necros. I guess I'll go ahead and just take that. If they played that, if their next turn is just play that pass, then it's gonna be pretty awkward for me. And hopefully, if they just play a Springheart Nantuko, I can just kill it. But they, you know, would be very reasonable for them to bestow it on this Delighted Halfling. Looks like they do. And they drew a fetch land. Okay, get a Bowmasters down. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick off that insect. Drew another Soul Spike. I'm gonna attack with the army here. They can trade with an insect if they'd like. At this point, really looking for the third land here. With two Soul Spikes in hand, I might be able to get the game over with. Okay, middle's the Shuko. We know 4 of their cards. Sylvan Safekeeper. Okay, so again, we're know the cards in their hand. We create a copy of Delighted Halfling, sure. Alright, let's get a land here. Gonti's Machinations. Alright, we'll cast that. It's 3 damage coming at some point. So far, both of us kind of off to a slow start, but hopefully this, you know, would get a third land before they can find a chord or something, and then that would help us kind of speed things through. They drew a third Spring Heart and Tuco, and then they bestow it onto their other one. Can't make a copy of it yet, but do get to make 3 insects here. Mills of Saga. Alright, let's get a land. Another Bowmasters. It's not really what I need here, to be honest, but it is castable, at least. Might go after the Safekeeper here just to be annoying. Alright. Last known card from their hand. Got a lot of triggers here. Make a deleted halfling. I'm assuming make another Nintuko. Yes. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Let's see if they attack. I could potentially ambush something here. If they do. Opponent is considering their options. Looks like they're just going in with a couple of halflings and a bunch of insects. Okay. Well, I guess I can pick off some things here. I think I'm just going to go kill this and then block the bestowed one. Okay, so they do go for the Safekeeper. Oh, and I don't get to grow this now, too. Well, in that case, I think I'm just going to take it. Take 9. Get an energy here. Let's see if I can draw a land. Draw a 3rd Soul Spike, which is especially impressive because I know my 4th Soul Spike is on the bottom of my deck. But I have not had any luck in drawing it. Or anything other than Soul Spikes. So opponent is slowly passing turn. Yeah, this is a bit rough here. Just sitting, watching my opponent get more and more lands into play, or more and more insects into play, and then also just I'm stuck on lands here. Okay, so they grab a Nadu, and they have Shuka. Okay, interesting. Well, fair enough. All right. Well, I think this is a good matchup for removal. Think since Nadu doesn't actually draw cards, Bowmasters is not super good here. And then let's get a couple of these. And yeah, get this one rolling for game 2. Always fun we can board in the full 16 pitch cards. All right, I mean, this is an awkward hand, um, but it has 3 mana and Necrodominance. I'm gonna wait on this Grief. I want to see if I draw black, pretty much any black card, I'll pitch it. If I draw a scam card, then I'll pitch Soul Spike to scam it. But I do kind of want to hold this Soul Spike if I can. Opponent has stopped on their end step. Okay. Oh, I do draw a scam card. So I will use that. When it fetches in response for Veil of Summer. Fair enough. I will still scam. Can at least get a 4/3 into play. All right, so let's see. They've got a tapped Lush Portico. It's kind of interesting. Still no creatures or anything. All right, I'll go in and attack. Got my Necro here. They have a Mana Tithe. I've already got Mana Tithe once this league. I don't know if my mental can handle a second one. Okay, just another Veil of Summer. Just gonna cycle that. Makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and draw, I think 6 cards here. Okay, and I do draw a Soul Spike, so I think I might as well just cast that. Oh, I can't cast it because of Veil of Summer. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, I can discard land, Fel the Profane, not dead after all for sure. And so I'll keep one of each pitch card just to see what I can pull through here. Force of Despair is really nice to have. If they start trying to combo or something, I can pick off a lot of creatures. Okay, Sylvan Safekeeper. Got a Saga as the land. And an Nantuko. That is a bit awkward since like I can kill the Safekeeper, but the Nantuko will still come into play. I guess I'll just hold off for now. I can always Force of Despair later on. Actually, I think I'm gonna go for a Sickening Shoal here. I know they can sacrifice a land to save it. Um, actually, if they do sacrifice a land, I'm not entirely sure how this works. If they give it Shroud, would it Nantuko can't get countered? I guess we're gonna find out. So that dies, and that just comes into play as a creature. Which I mean, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and kill that. I mean, I'm cleaning up the board. I got got a land and two creatures, and you know, and I think it's good to use it there since um, I'm gonna be drawing a bunch of cards anyway, so using my cards at a good place is gonna be kind of at a premium. I'm gonna go ahead and draw 7 cards. Okay. I've got. Oh, actually, I should just be able to win here. Oh no, when this aura is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, so it won't trigger. Wasn't sure if it was that or if it just leaves the battlefield. Either way, I mean, I've got another Force of Despair up. Okay, cool. I mean, those are the draws with this deck that just feel incredible. And you got obviously Scam Grief is great, and then you can just Necro into a million different pitch spells. Um, yeah, hopefully we can get there on game 3 as well. Finish this match off. All right, back for game 3. It's kind of an awkward hand. Doesn't really have much that would actually disrupt them. And I think with just one land, I'm gonna mulligan that. Okay, this hand I think is a bit better. I mean, I've at least got a Force of Despair and a Grief to disrupt them. If I draw a second land, I can Sign in Blood, kind of recover a little bit from this mulligan. So, yeah, I think it's a reasonable keep here. See what my opponent has. Maybe a Delighted Halfling. It is indeed. Okay. So I guess one question is, I was going to say, do I cast Grief? And the answer is now definitely yes. And get that going here. So Titania, Summoner's Pact, and 2 Mana Dorks. That is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I kind of like the idea of just taking the 2 Mana Dorks and then They're left with a Summoner's Pact or Titania, and they have to wait for that. And once they do get to it, I have Force of Despair. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go for here. Just leave you with 2 mana and a spell that essentially costs 4 and 5. Shuko, okay. I mean, if they draw, I think there is a world where they draw a land and then they try to Nadu with Shuko, and then I could just get them with the Force of Despair. Land here's a really good draw. Give me a nice Sign of Blood here. Pretty happy with that. Think probably going to be, depending on what I draw next turn, probably going to be playing Hopeless Nightmare and Gantes, and then hold the Trawler for now. Okay, another Trawler means I'm probably just playing one as a land here. Let's make you discard a card. So go down to 11. I'm going to attack them down to 7. So, you know, if they don't leave back 2 creatures to block, then I do have lethal next turn. As I can trigger the Gantes Machinations again and then attack for a 7. But they're kind of getting to the point where, I mean, if they don't draw anything, they're almost assuredly leaving these guys back, which is also fine. I'm feeling fairly good about my position here. Let's see if they want to go for Pact for Nadu here. I mean, they do have the mana now. They can play it if they want. Okay, another Boggart Trawler. All right, I think I'm just going to go ahead and attack. See what happens here. Oh, they're just going to 3 against the Gantes Machinations? Okay. As each opponent, so they would have to have a flash creature that gains life. So I'm just going to go for it. Okay, they're casting the Pact. Let's see if they've got something here. And they scoop it up. All right. Going to 2 and 2. Let's see if we can get the treasure chest in the last round. All right. Back for round 5. Trying to get that treasure chest. And looking like a pretty good start here. I've got Scam Grief. And so I will keep. It's pretty simple with this deck, you know. If you have the ability to turn 1 Scam, you take it. And to that end, that's why playing so many MDFCs too. It's um, just the best way to ensure that you have something to pitch. think I'm gonna pitch the Rebirth here. Um, actually, I think I'm just gonna go for this Soul Spike. I think it's pretty far away from doing something. Oh, interesting, interesting. Looks like we got a little bit of a mirror match here. They got a Necrodominance and a Shield Dread. Hmm. Bowmaster is pretty good against me, um, but I really can't allow them to have either Necrodominance or Shield Dread, so I think that's gonna have to be what I go for here. Yeah. Um, and there is definitely a chance. So if they go hold up Bowmasters and then try to block, I can just cast a Rebirth here. I guess I can just. I guess I'm going to go for attack first, and I can go for a Hopeless Nightmare. And because I really don't want to cast my Bowmasters and have their. Cast my Bowmasters first and have them be able to just kill it with their Bowmaster. The only thing that can stop a bad guy with a Bowmaster is a good guy with a Bowmaster. Though unfortunately that also works the other way around. Okay, so they discard a different art swamp. Oh no, okay. I guess I cleared one, so it could be this one too. Alright, well, I'm gonna play that tapped and okay, so looks like they're just holding up a Bowmaster here. I'm gonna go ahead. It would be really nice to clear this Bowmaster with my Bowmaster, and then be able to Necrodominance next turn. And to that end, I'm gonna play this as a land in order to make sure I have 3 mana up for next turn. They do cast a Bowmaster. I know they have a Rebirth in hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Bowmaster now to clear theirs. So now they're down to Rebirth plus 1 mystery card. And they just scoop it up. Awesome. Well, you love to see that. I think in this matchup, probably just going to be bringing in the Sickening Shoals. Um, I would love to have Leyline in to stop their scams. Um, but I really need to be able to deal with Shieldred and Bowmaster. Like I just absolutely cannot let them go like that. So um, I think I'm going to trim a couple of Hopeless Nightmares. I actually do kind of want the Chancellors here since those are things that I can pitch to kill Shieldred with Sickening Shoal. Um, I could also see bringing in some or Force of Despairs as well. I think I'll try it like this and see how it goes. Could see trimming on Sign of Bloods too, since my opponent has Bowmaster and Shieldred. Um, but yeah, I mean this hand seems pretty solid. Okay, double Leyline for my opponent here. Pretty cool since I don't have Scam this time. They're also playing the Boggart. Looks like they might be considering whether they should evoke a grief or not. It'd be kind of interesting spot. I mean, if you don't have the scam card, you already have my scam turned off, so I think potentially I'd be interested in leaving it for now. But I think in my spot, I have an easy pitch here with Chancellor of the Dross, and I know my groups are not getting really better, so yeah, it looks like that was their consideration. They have Consuming Corruption, kind of an awkward play here with the Bog. And they have a Grief, which I think I'm okay with just leaving them with a Grief. Then next turn, I can play Bowmaster. They can't kill it. They're not gonna be able to play Grief for a little while. So I think I'm pretty happy with that, how that turned out. They play a Swamp and pass turn. Okay, and I did draw a Necrodominance. That's pretty sweet. Let's see if do they draw something or passing? Okay, just passing. Playing Swamp. Okay, well, they drew a Necrodominance, but unfortunately for them, I drew something pretty good too. Would you like to, how much life would you like to pay for a Necrodominance here? 3 life. So that puts them down to 10. I can attack them down to 5. Oh, actually, I think I can just kill them with Sign and Blood here. Yeah, well, and especially with the also being able to Soul Spike here. So I'll have you draw a couple cards. Ping you with Bowmaster a couple times. And swing in. Even had a Soul Spike for backup. Nice. Got there with a 3-2. All right. Let's see what we got here in the treasure chest. Got a Sarah the Benevolent, Still Moon Cavalier, and a World Slayer. Yeah, I remember Sarah got a lot of hype when it was the first Planeswalker spoiled from Modern Horizons 1, and then I never heard about it again. But this deck was very sweet. It's a lot of fun. Necrodominance is an absolutely crazy card, and you know a lot of the downsides of it, like the fact that you need to pay life, the your reduced hand size, all of that, it just gets so mitigated when you have soul spikes, you have sickening shoals, you have all of these like Chancellor of the Dross to gain life, and you know you're already an aggressive deck, so you're trying to cast all your cheap stuff, and then also just scamming Grief, which usually leaves you with no cards left in hand, essentially, and then Necrodominance just refills your hand entirely. So very sweet deck. I had a blast playing it. Let me know in the comments if you like this video, if you had any things that you would change with the deck, and then I'll see you guys next time.